Okay, good. Welcome back. So in this one, we will discuss what is Google Colab. I will show you the user interface of Colab and how we can use it to run our Python code. So when you search Google Colab, the first website that you see, which is colab.research.google.com, this is where we will go. So let's click on it, and inside we see this pop-up. So I'll just cancel it. So this is the start page of Colab, and when you go to file and click on this new notebook in Drive, that will open our Python notebook. So notebook is the place where we will write our Python code. So let's go there, and inside we see this untitled .ipynb, which is Python notebook. We can rename it to let's say introduction. And Colab has really nice user interface. On top you see this ribbon where you have like file. You can open new notebooks or save these to your drive or even download it to your local computer. There are also some other options that you can explore. And if you don't like this light theme, you can go to this settings and then change the theme to dark if you want. And also you can change the font size of your text here and also show line numbers for your codes if needed. So I'll just cancel it. And also on the left, we see this vertical ribbon. Below is this file. So first we will just connect to the runtime or the server, Python server. So that takes a moment, and then we can see these files. Here we can either upload some data and use it in our Python code, or we can also save the data that is generated from our Python code here. And make sure to download whatever data that you save here because it gets deleted, I think, every 24 hours. Okay. So we will see about that later. So now I'll just close it. And what you see here is Python shell. This is where we will write our code. So let's say if I just type 1 plus 2 and then I click on this play button, then we will run this cell. So click on it and we see the calculation is done here. And when we hover over here, you can see there is this code and text button. On top also you will see the same. So if I just click on text, I can give title to this section. So either you can type some simple text, or if you want proper titles to your section, then you can just give one hashtag, and maybe I will call it introduction as well. And with this, an arrow will appear which you can use to hide whatever cells are there underneath. I can also add one more text cell, and this time I can add two hashtags to have a subsection. So let's call it comments. With comments, you can add information about your code which will be useful for other users. So I can just add a hashtag and I can just give it maybe important calculation, and underneath I will have some particular calculation, let's say 12 times 3. And what Python does is it will ignore whatever is there after the hashtag symbol and only run or execute the calculations without hashtags. So when I run this cell, I see the result of just this 12 times 3 calculation. So it's always a good practice to have comments throughout your code which will explain what this code is exactly doing. Let's add one more subsection. So I will give it name variables. So we can have variables in Python. So maybe I can give a name to be x, and x is having value of 5. So when I run this does not print anything on the screen. So if you want to see this x to be printed on the screen, so we use the word or function print, and I will say print brackets x. So this will print the value of x, which is 5. And like this we can have multiple variables. So let's say x is 5 or maybe 50, y is 10, and then we can print x times y. So we can execute this cell. Instead of clicking on this button, we can also use a shortcut which is shift enter. So that runs this cell and we get the answer to be 500. Remember that Python is a top-down language, which means it executes a block of code line by line. In other words, if I redefine this x to be, let's say, true, then Python will remember the last value of x in its memory. And whatever calculation you do afterwards, only the x equals 2 will be considered. Okay, so if I run this, the answer should change and we get 10 times 2 and not 10 times 50. So I hope you understood this much. With this, I'll see you in the next one.